head towards kickoff. Two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's Ryan's Falcons going up against Carr's Raiders. With that, we'll get you out to Oakland as we'll hand it over to our colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Bay Area as we welcome you to Oakland, California. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the Oakland Raiders. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And right away, he lost the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. Carr. Cooper's got it. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And for that man, Crabtree just finished his 8th NFL season. Of course, the first 6 in San Fran, last 2 with the Raiders. Barely topped the 1,000-yard mark, but he did 1,003 this season.
It's been interesting to watch the career arc of Michael Crabtree, because you remember when he came out of college, came out of Texas Tech, he was seen as a pure #1 receiver. Many thought he was going to be a future All-Pro. But he settled in as the #2 guy in Oakland, and I think that's been great for him. Taking the pressure off of Amari Cooper and making plays himself.
A big play there for the Raiders. 31 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray taking it in from the 20. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And speaking of Devontae Freeman, Charles, curious how the Patriots are going to handle he and Tevin Coleman. They've been such a good 1-2 punch this year. We know the Patriots have a good D. How do you see that battle going down?
I sense that Atlanta's going to try and get the Patriots linebackers on the move because they are thumping-type guys on that side of the ball. And if you're Atlanta and you use Coleman and Freeman, get them out into space, make those guys chase a little bit and try and cover them, that'll be an interesting matchup. But what I like about Devontae Freeman, the passion that he plays with. And that sets a tone for his offense. He'll just have to make sure that he's not over-amped for the game and force some errors.
Malcolm Smith there for the stop. All right, let's look at the offense. Devontae Freeman, this is a guy that you wanted to talk about, so take it away.
Brandon, have you seen a running back play with such joy as well as such fury? I love the way he runs the football and attacks defenses.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. Well, it's no secret the defenses have pretty much not been able to cover Julio Jones this season. How do the Patriots do it? I know that that's the $64,000 question. What's the answer?
I think they do it in a variety of ways. I think it's going to be a combination plate that they'll throw at him. Sometimes you'll see Malcolm Butler, the #1 corner, go ahead and line up with Julio Jones. There'll be times where he won't, and they'll end up double-teaming Julio. But whoever's on that side will show him different things. They'll come up and press him. They'll back away. They'll pretend to press. They'll run with him. They'll wait at 5 yards and catch him and then try and jam him there. So many different things. Anything trying to chip away at his timing.
Alex Smith there on the tackle. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through. And that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move as they face a second down here. Shift together here from the D-line. On second down, Freeman. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the 3rd level is leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense.
They run. Devontae Freeman. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And this is going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And 4th down coming up. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it. Freeman. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
Wow. I'll tell you, he got a good spot on that one. It's 4th and 2, and he might have gotten 2 and an inch, but that's all he needed, and that'll keep the drive moving.
Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down, Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And we'll see Oakland take over on offense in a second. And I know these Raiders don't want to hear it, but it's kind of the talk of the town. Such a promising season, looking so good. Carr gets injured, and then they just fall off and lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, in fact, when we brought it up, they told us they didn't want to talk about it. Because for them, they just want to look forward. Great year last year. They know about the injuries, Carr getting hurt, etc. But for them, the focus is now, and they think that they can be not just a playoff team again this year, but a Super Bowl contender.
And the last time they were in the playoffs, they were a Super Bowl contender back in 2003 when they fell short in Super Bowl 37. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Now Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. With that incompletion, have a second here. Let's talk Super Bowl. Falcons, Patriots. Time for the keys to the game. Brought to you by Charles Davis Automotive.
Best customer service anywhere in the world, partner, let me tell you. All right, for New England, they want to be more physical running the football, I believe, with LeGarrette Blount. That way, they control the clock, keep the ball away from Matt Ryan. If you're Atlanta, they want to catch a flyer out of the gate, which means get out to a fast start, make New England chase them, and make sure they get a chance to use those great athletes on offense.
Throwing his Carr on third down. It finds Crabtree for the completion. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And quickly, they get to the line. On first down, Murray. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. On second down, here's Carr. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on third. Carr going to throw.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating first downs and moving the ball downfield.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will push. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back.
And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Latavius Murray with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And before the Falcons take over on offense, a stat that is definitely worth mentioning. They have scored this year 540 points, tied for 8th all-time in league history. But my question to you, if you had to pick one key for this offense to be successful against New England, what do you think that would be?
Offensive line. And I know that's not a very sexy thing to talk about, but the rebuild of the Falcons' offensive line over the last 2 to 3 seasons.
And got his man complete. Charles, Sanu is a great weapon, often in the shadow of Julio Jones. And with so much attention going to be paid to Julio by the Patriots, the Falcons, they have other weapons just like Sanu, don't they?
And I think that they're actually eager to show them off. You know, they set an NFL record for the most people to catch a touchdown pass in a season. All-time NFL record, I believe the number's 13. But also look at it this way. Mohamed Sanu, Tevin Coleman, Devontae Freeman out of the backfield, Austin Hooper at tight end, Taylor Gabriel, Aldrick Robinson at receiver. So many other weapons. There have been games during the season when Julio Jones' production has been held down. The Falcons have managed to win a whole lot of those games anyway.
And on 2nd and 10 now. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Gabriel, the man in motion. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the 2nd down incompletion. On 3rd down, Ryan. Jones has it. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And they're going to speed things up here. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 3rd quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 11 on the gain there. And it'll give the Falcons a 1st down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They go play it. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on 2nd. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Here's Ryan to throw. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now Ryan. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Play clock winding down. They go back to Murray on first down. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. And that's complete to Walford. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football.
Murray fighting, lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
So the offense able to recover the fumble, but it's 3rd down now. A toss to Murray. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Latavius Murray, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Gabriel, the man in motion. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan going for the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Reggie Nelson. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility. Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Here's Marquette King now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. And now it's 2nd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. 2nd down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by the former Eagle, Nate Allen. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. Now they'll run. Murray. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right?
That's caught inside the 20. A big play there. Ryan to Jones. And even 60 yards. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
On second down, Ryan steps away to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So they got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, here's Ryan. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones, his second touchdown of the night. And the Falcons cut into that lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They snap it direct. This is Murray. And the gadget package there won't do much for him. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On the direct snap, Murray. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that formation won't yield much here as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. First carry here for Taiwan Jones. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And now Sebastian Janikowski on from a long distance. He's hit from 61 and 63 in his career. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time.
Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. Give me what. Sliding down the last street as the day creeps. What you doing with nobody at home? Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul. Come on. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care where we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I'll be waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Extra touch and pull up, hand in.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Carr's Raiders going up against Wilson Seahawks. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Oakland Raiders and the Seattle Seahawks. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down. Out at the 11-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
No, times have changed, right? The old-school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Now a man who wore silver and black for many years, it's Marcel Reese. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. Are you kidding me? Earlier, partner, when discussing Russell Wilson, you said you think he's best when Seattle is running back centric. Is Thomas Rawls the centerpiece going forward there?
I think so because of what he did 2 seasons ago before he got hurt. Because he runs that offense the way they want it run. One cut, downhill, get upfield, and Thomas Rawls is perfect for that. If he stays healthy, that allows Russell Wilson now to throw the play action, to bootleg passes that really hurt other teams defensively.
And Rawls has youth on his side, just 23. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Third and long, it's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And tough starting field position here. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. Give him 10. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. Carr. And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Mike Bennett in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, now that it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And Mr. Cooper Amari, a headliner in this offensive unit.
Brandon, it's rare that you get guys so polished coming out of college, but Amari Cooper has carried himself like a pro probably since he was 6 years old. He is a terrific talent.
It finds Crabtree for the completion. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mike Morgan coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down for a loss of 5. On second down, here's Carr. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And he was able to find a very soft spot in that zone coverage.
I love that term, Brandon. That soft spot where you find the open area, set up, and catch the football before the hard collision comes afterwards.
They pitch it out to Murray. And he's going to be met at about the 43 for Murray in the wild card game against Houston. Just 39 yards on 12 carries. So now you look at the season all told. Just under 800 yards, Charles. He did score 12 touchdowns. What'd you think of his year?
I thought it was an excellent year for him. And I know 1,000 yards is the benchmark. Remember, he didn't play in all of the games. And Oakland became a passing-type team with Derek Carr throwing the ball around. I think Latavius Murray is clearly a #1 running back in the NFL. And with those 3 Pro Bowlers in front and the offensive line, I think the future is bright.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the seemingly endless drive continues. Carr to throw on 2nd down. A right side catch by Crabtree. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
2nd and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Okay, Brandon, before we break this game down any farther, I've got to talk about Tom Brady. He's going for his 5th Super Bowl title. I think Bradshaw has 4, right? Montana has 4. Brady wants to be the only quarterback with 5 Super Bowl titles.
Won his first one back in 2002, trying to get number 5 in 2017. You think if he gets it, that he puts all the rings on at the same time?
For a definite photo shoot that'll go up in New England, everywhere, no doubt about it.
I mean out in public, just for fun.
Why not? Hey, he'd be Tom Brady with 5 Super Bowl championships, the first and only quarterback at that time.
He'll dump it off to Procise, and they'll bring him down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. In the slot on the right is Graham. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. He's got Curse. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. First down, this is Rawls. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now Wilson on 2nd down. It's caught on the left side by Curse. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Crabtree has it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
2nd down now after the pass completion. Now Carr. It's caught by Crabtree. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. Carr now on 1st down. It's caught by Clive Walford. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
A right side catch by Crabtree. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage. Because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end. You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Carr will try it again on 2nd down. Holmes has got it complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. First down and goal to go from the 7. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Amari Cooper as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball, meaning a 50-50? The ball's in the air, defenders there, receivers there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, the defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. I don't know who all is to blame there, but... I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one is the fair catch is signaled for and taken. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the safety, Reggie Nelson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. The play clock's running down. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They come up in a 2 tight end look here.
Let's go.
Now they try the right side here. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Now this time, Carl throw. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas, a defensive guy that can make things happen.
Arguably the best center fielder in the game today. He patrols the middle of the field with speed and with fury.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think?
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Aldon Smith from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. His throw incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. 3rd down here. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Travis Carey. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. And again here, we'll see the Wildcat.
Let's go.
They go back to the air here after the INT. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. This is why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
the receiver still gets a point there? Yeah. And you went that far back. No bueno.
Yeah.
And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
They go play action for Murray. Now Carr surveying the field. He's going to look deep down, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Amari Cooper, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Raiders add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is? That went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them. But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Shift together here from the D-line. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to... And now here is another interception. Picked off by the safety, Reggie Nelson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Now Carr with a give to Murray. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Tackle made by Deshaun Shedd.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Let's see if the defense tries any pressure here on 3rd and 8. They'll need to get the play off quickly on 3rd down. Murray. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And big problems getting the play out, obviously. This will be a delay. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they're operating in the red zone.
Two times. Hey. You got three. All right, here we go. Wide at the 8. Wide at the 8. Mike 52. Mike 52.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And that's why you see so many teams play a 3-4 defense, because that set gives you a lot of flexibility. About where to bring pressure from, and it's hard for an offense to pick it up. Left side, right side, up the middle, especially with some really flexible linebackers.
And with the play clock running out, Jack Del Rio's going to take a timeout. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.